Hello, everyone. It's William here at Allegory Gallery. Thank you for joining me today in my home office. I hope you're all doing well. It's a lovely day, but it's a rainy day, and I have the windows open, which is so nice to finally have some air coming through. Gertie was just here in the room with me, but she decided to leave before we started. Um, but yeah, the air smells good, but it's raining. It's not raining right at the moment, but it's been raining on and off all day. I hear thunder rumbling through, so we've got some thunderstorms coming through. Last night, in the middle of the night, I heard such loud thunder. I thought it was an auto accident. Um, it woke me up out of bed, and I was like, "What was that?" And then I realized it was thunder. We haven't heard thunder like that in a long time. Um, so it's been that kind of a day. Um, Hello, Marianne. Thank you for being here. If you're out there, please say hi. Let me know. It's always nice for me to know there are people watching. It helps a lot. If you've ever done public speaking, this is pretty much public speaking, and it's nice to know you're not talking to yourself, right? I know some people's probably biggest fear is public speaking, but the other biggest fear, probably the second biggest fear, is knowing you prepared for an event and no one shows up. So it's nice to know you're out there. Please say hi if you're out there. Susie's out here. Hello, Susie. Thank you for joining us today. Um, I have been busy today. The cats and I started the day going outside, which was very nice. Um, I had a prescription to pick up today. Um, it seems like my prescription thing worked that I redid yesterday. So that was good news. The prescription came through text message saying it was much less than before. I don't know if that's going to continue to work or if they pulled some magic, but for now, I got my prescription picked up, so that's good. I will have to check on all of that and see if it's going to continue to work, but that's more investigation than I had in me for today after everything yesterday. Um, and I stopped at the post office today, dropped off some packages. Going out the door, I went to the grocery store and I got a sandwich and a coffee for me and Andrew because he has been up all night. I don't know what time he left to go to the cottage. When I went to bed last night around 2 or so, he was still home, but he ended up at some point going to the cottage because when I woke up, he was not here. So he's been at the cottage. He's working on a lot of different test tiles and testing new things for enameling. So he's been up all night doing that. Um, and if you didn't see, he's made some pendants that we are going to release in the art drop on the online store this Friday. So stay tuned to allegorygallery.com this Friday at 7 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time. We are going to release new pendants by Andrew. So there may be more in there. There may be more things in there, but at least you're going to see those pendants in there. People seem to be really loving them. They're getting a lot of attention over on his profiles. So I don't know how long they'll last in the online store. I'm hoping that leads to people grabbing them up when they're in there. But we will also, sold or not, we will be showing them during the live that evening, Friday evening at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time. The live starts at 7:30. So they will go live in the online store at 7. That's how we've been doing it. They'll be they'll be available to purchase at 7, and then we will show them off at 7:30 as kind of a review of them, whether they're sold or not, just so that if you want to see them more in person, you can do that there. Marianne loves the J. Yeah, he did some really beautiful birds that he drew. So those are all Andrew's drawings converted to laser etched enamel. So he created the enamel pieces, multi-step enameling process to create the pieces, and then he laser etched his drawings that he made into the enamel using our laser. So Those will be released on Friday. Um, we will have a D-Stash event this coming Sunday, as usual, at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Fill up your calendar. Get your calendars out, everybody. Start writing everything down. And this Friday is Friday the 13th again. So that's pretty wild, right? Two Friday the 13th, because there was one in February, and March always mirrors February at 28 days. So it's going to be Friday the 13th again. So it's a good day. Let's ward off any badness with some great art on the website. Again, Sunday we will be having our D-Stash event at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. That's when we start that. That is not a live. That is an event in our group where we ask questions and we show you pretty things that hopefully you'll want to buy at great prices. It's kind of like a live, but it's just you don't have to watch a live. I know some people don't like watching a live, and so we do that too for those of you out there who may tune into our lives once in a while, but you're like, I don't watch a live every day. We are thankful for those who do, but I know it's not for everybody. It doesn't fit everybody's schedule, all that good stuff. So we try and do a D-Stash event on the weekends for you all. And you can hang out with us from about 8. It usually goes from about 8 till 10, 8 till 10 p.m. So we ask questions in there and you can answer the questions, and we kind of chit chat with each other through the comment section. And then we also sell things, and hopefully you want to buy them and help support our little small business. Um, a lot of the times the things I pull for the D-Stash, there are only a few of each, or we're down to the last of the last. We give you the good prices on those. And yeah, that's what's going on, I think, this week so far, or for the rest of the week. I have my pottery class today, which is why we're coming to you at 3 p.m. Do you hear that? That's the thunder, y'all. I love it. I love the sound of thunder, but poor Gilbert, he is probably a mess. Although he has been dealing with thunder much better, but I don't know how he is today with his sisters. His sisters are picking on him a little bit, but he's it's getting better. Um, we haven't been keeping him in the bedroom or allowing him in the bedroom very much. He has the other bedroom he can go into if he needs to, but he's been out and about a little bit more, and I think everybody's getting used to each other again and getting, I'm hopeful anyway. They still try and chase him, but they're only doing like short distance chasing instead of like all the way through the house and up the stairs and under the bed. Um, so we'll see. We'll see. I think also, um, there's a challenge to opening the windows because I think sometimes they smell other cats or other animals around, but also sometimes I think it helps clear out whatever smells or whatever is going on. Because I think, I'm sure he puts out little fear pheromones and all that stuff. And so hopefully whatever's happening is going to make everything better. Um, but thunder usually bothers him, and we haven't had thunder like this in a long time. So we'll see how he's doing. He was still up and out and not under the bed when I came home, so that was good. I was just up at the cottage. I dropped stuff off to Andrew. I packed a few packages that I could do. Um, after running my errands today. And I worked on setting up the lives, figured out how to schedule lives through this newish system. Got some lives scheduled for the rest of this week. I set up an event for the D-Stash on Facebook this Sunday. And I've got a few more things I got to get the creative make-alongs up and posted about, but we will do that. We will do that when I can, probably this weekend while I'm at the shop. Um, Kimberly says, I am setting a timer for Friday. I want the owl on the branch. All right. Timer set, right? Thank you all. I'm glad you all are enjoying the enamel preview that Andrew gave. So happy that you all like those. If you don't know what I'm talking about, I don't know if I can show pictures here or not. I think, this is my graphic. I think, let me try something. Uh, do I have it? Where do I have it? I think it's this one. I think. Let me see if I can upload and show you. I think an overlay works. I think it's an overlay that I want. I gotta make sure I have the right graphic here. Yeah, there it is. There they are. Hey, I figured it out. Um, these are some of the new pendants that we're going to be releasing. I don't know if that's all of them or if Andrew's going to have more by the time Friday comes around. We do still have a few days. He can work before he has to hand them off to me to get pictures and descriptions written up for all of these and get them in the online store. I usually do that on Friday during the day at the shop. So, um, that these are the new pendants, and they're all enamel, and they're all his original drawings. Um, there are two birds or two owls on branches, the larger circular one and the smaller oval one. So both of those are going to be released. Kimberly, I don't know which one you're vying for, but there are at least two. Um, there's two of the, I believe, dove there. That's what Marianne says. So Kimberly, the big one or the small one? Um, yeah, so those are going to be what we release during the art drop on Friday. There may be more things. Like I said, I know he's been working on some more things. I don't know what's going to be ready for the drop, but I'll find out Friday morning when I leave for work. He'll hand me a box of stuff, and that's what I'll be putting on for the drop. So stay tuned. Hopefully y'all like those when they come out, or hopefully y'all like them now and are ready to get them when they come out. um, I don't have a lot to talk about because my day has been a blur, a blur. Kimberly says, I think I have the other owl, the round one. He may have done some of those in a form before. I don't know. I don't know. I know he was working on it. I know he did samples. We had a sample sale and we sold some of those samples off. But these are like the finished, these are like the way he wants them to be. He was talking about he's very happy with how these came out. So these will be that. I don't know what the prices are yet, but you'll find out on Friday. We'll be setting prices as we discuss that, probably Thursday night, Friday morning before I leave. So that is that. And what else? I haven't checked my email much today, so if you sent me an email today or late after the live yesterday, I may not have gotten back to you yet. And if not, I will work on stuff later today after my pottery class. Oh yeah, I'm going to pottery. I mentioned that, I think. I should be getting back my pendants, I think, as long as all went well and all went to schedule. I think my teacher was going to be doing a glaze firing before my class today. So as long as that happened, I will probably be getting my pendants back today. And maybe those will go into the online store as well. It's technically only it's an Andrew drop, but maybe those will get into the online store too. We might do them on separate days, maybe, or we might do them all together. I'll have to ask him what he thinks, whether we do them on separate days or drop them together. We'll see. And what I have time for on Friday. That's a whole other thing too. Is it really depends on how busy the store is. Um, so I might have ceramic pendants to drop myself. I think I worked on 8 to 10 of them, something like that. So that would be exciting for me if those are ready, but they may not be ready till next week. You never know. Sometimes the firing schedules do not go as planned. My teacher, she has another job too, so sometimes things change. So we'll see. I hope they come out really well. And I'll have something to drop on there as well. I still have one bowl, this one, that I've never gotten online, that is available for sale because I keep forgetting to get the size of it, and I need the size to write up the online description. It's sitting here in the office, so I need to remember to take that and put that in the online store too. So that'll probably drop with my pendants. And I don't know how the pendants are going to do. I think they're kind of cute-ish, and people might like them. People might think they're too cutesy or too, I don't know, too basic. I don't know. But we'll see. I think as long as they come out what I'm picturing, um, they're worth putting out and see what people think of them. Um, so we'll see how they come out today, hopefully. And I'm working on more dishes. That's what I've been working on last week. I will probably continue that tonight. So hopefully get some more dishes glazed up and ready to put into the glaze kiln. And then, yeah, that'll take up all night tonight because I have like 8 dishes that I'm working on. And usually I can get 3 or 4 of them done because I'm so slow at deciding what kind of glaze I want to put on things. Um, but I may work a little faster because I worked really hard um, on the designs on those, and I don't want to cover them up too much with any kind of weird glazing or anything like that. So um, I might use mostly celadons and just kind of pop celadons over top, which are the see-through ones, um, and use those instead of trying to watercolor or water down some of the other glazes that I've been using, because that takes a lot of time. But we'll see. I also like that process. So um, I don't know. We'll see what happens. Um, let's see. Cutesy can be fun, says Marianne. I think so. That's why I did that. I'm not a serious painter or drawer, sketcher, so I can't make the same kind of things that, like I don't do drawings like Andrew does, like in his pendants and stuff. I'm not artistic like that right now. I do believe people can learn that. I just think it's harder for some people to, it's like languages. I believe everybody can speak another language. You learn one. Um, Most people learn at least one language, so you're capable of learning any, I think, but it just comes harder to some people. Um, and so I think it's the same thing with most skills. Some things are harder, but I think everybody can do most things, as long as there's no other things in the way of that, or anything like that. But um, I'm not there right now. And so I have to do what I can do, which are the cutesy little things I'm doing, which I think are fun. I think they're fun. Um, Kimberly says, I like what I saw in your pictures. Thank you. Thanks. They should hopefully come out exactly like that, only brighter. Once I put the clear glaze on them, they go from a more dull matte color to what should be a brighter, glossier color, I'm hoping. But we'll see. That's the goal anyway. I like things glossy. Andrew likes things more matte. So we'll see what happens. So I'm ready for the pendants too. Good, good. I'm gonna try and price them pretty well as best as I can. They're a lot of work. People who make pendants, I like some people I see them selling their pen. I don't know how they're also people who do this for a living and sell a lot of these are also faster than I am. And they've got a system down. My system is rack my brain every time I'm ready to make something because I don't know what I'm making yet. um, and then figure out how to do it. But people who have done this for years, but then you've got years of experience in there and they should be paid for that too. So I think it's hard right now because we always tell artists don't undercut yourself, like when we talk to people. At the same time, we also know there's you know in some places there's this race to the bottom, which is so ridiculous. And it's what big box stores force artists to do, and it's sad. It's so sad. um, Handmade things should be charged what they're worth. um, but then everybody couldn't afford them, which is also the hard part. We want people to be able to afford the things we make and do. Um, at least some of them. It's, some things are out of my price range. A lot of things are out of my price range. So inevitably things will be out of people's price ranges, but we try to have something for everyone. Danette Sears says, nice haircut, William. Thank you. Thank you. The rain's coming. Hopefully it's not coming. It looks like it's raining pretty straight down. There's not a lot of wind out there, so hopefully having the windows open won't be too bad. It might get noisy. I might have to shut the window. If it gets too noisy, let me know. Hey, May, thanks for joining us today. Thanks for being here. If you're out there, please say hi. Like I said, if this becomes too annoying, let me know. If you have a hard time hearing me, I don't know how the microphones will pick up the background noise versus my voice. But if you do hear something and you can't hear me or whatever, just let me know. I'll shut the window. That's what's happening here. What's happening for all of you this afternoon? And it says it really poured here in Latrobe. Okay, it must be heading this way because it's starting to get, the rain's coming this way, so I should be okay with the windows. It's coming in this way. I have this window open and I have this window open. As long as it keeps coming that way, it shouldn't blow in either of those two windows. And I don't have any other windows in the house open other than the screen door in the porch. And that's blocked by the porch. So we're okay there. Yeah, that's what's going on here. How are you all doing today? What's happening? My friends on a Wednesday afternoon. I know Wednesdays are a little bit slower, and I've got some fun stuff for you. I've focused on, I pulled a lot of seed bead stuff today. Some of y'all may like that. Some of y'all may not. I don't know. I have some hanks of vintage seed beads that I'm going to show you. Sell them by the hank. I have some check glass. I have some lamp work. Really, it's a really eclectic mix today that I pulled for you all. So hopefully you'll like that. May finished a quick workout. Why is workout in quotes? What kind of workout is that? Um, it's not one of those. I have friends who like when they eat a large meal, they call it a workout. So I don't know what kind of workout you're getting into there, May. Um, I did not do a workout today. As much as I was talking about that yesterday and should have done one today, it's been raining most of the day, or trying to rain. I didn't want to get stuck in the rain, but I also didn't have a lot of time. I did not get up as early as I wanted to today because I did not get to bed as early as I wanted to last night. Andrew and I stayed up watching an enameling show. So it was a longer broadcast. We've been watching a broadcast. They're about 45 minutes to an hour each night. This one was longer than that. And we started it at like midnight or 12:30. We're trying to watch one a night. It helps inspire him, and I generally enjoy them too. I don't really do the work that he's doing, but this one was really interesting because it was talking about decals, and there are a lot of crossovers between decals for enameling and decals for pottery. And she was talking about a lot of the different techniques for pottery. And so it was even extra interesting to me. So it was nice to kind of watch that, but it did last longer. We also kept pausing it to talk about what was happening in it. And I was asking questions about what they were saying because Andrew understood a lot of it. So I was asking him things and he was pausing it to answer. So it ended up, I don't think we finished that until about 2. I was planning to try to go to bed at like 12, but we didn't start the show until about 12 or so. Um, so, because we didn't actually eat until then. Um, I had a lot of emails to catch up on last night and work through. Some people had requested things from some previous lots, so I wanted to tidy those up. Um, we when we do these lots, I usually bag them up in individual bags. We just use plastic bags, and I bag them up and I set them aside once I pull them for that night. And then if you request them within the next week or so, we guarantee it. Generally, you can request for up to about a week because I keep those bags set aside for then. Um, and then at that point, some of those things start to be taken apart and put back in with sorting that we do here, and they get resorted in. And so um, I had a few people, thank you, by the way, for watching our replays, who grabbed a few things here and there from different places. And so I wanted to clean those up before I started putting anything back and got anything too confused. So um, the live was nice last night, but I also spent a good bit of time um, doing that and sorting things and then invoicing for those kind of things. So we appreciate all of the support. It was a nice support day last night with everything coming in. We got some orders in the online store as well, which we always appreciate. Um, let's see. Oh, May says it was only 20 minutes long. 20 minutes is a long time, especially if you haven't exercised or worked out in a while. 20 minutes is definitely a good start. Um, May says YouTube has been helpful in finding good workout videos. That's good. Um, I use Apple Fitness sometimes. I don't know if y'all have Apple stuff, but if you have an Apple TV, you can get Apple Fitness, I think. It used to require an Apple Watch, but I don't think it does anymore. I don't know if there's an extra charge for Apple Fitness or if it comes with Apple One, the subscription service, because I have that, because I have a family plan for that to store our data and all that. But I think you can get Apple Fitness now without an Apple Watch. And they have what I really enjoyed. I haven't watched it in a while. Don't get me wrong, it may have changed. But Apple Fitness on the Apple TV was really nice because they used to, at least, and I'm assuming they still do. Every workout was the person doing the workout the way they intended, and then there was a workout that was done like with support of a chair or something to hold on to for people who might have balance issues or might not be as strong. There's like a modified version of that original, and then on the other side they had somebody who did it completely like in a chair or with some kind of structure. And so it was really a good thing. And that's what I like about Apples. They're very inclusive that way, that you can see those workouts in various forms. And no matter what, um, as long as you have some ability and are able to get around, you can do a lot of those workouts, um, which is really nice. So I thought that was really good. I haven't done because I don't make room in the house to do workouts very often. Like our living room often turns into a studio for art making. Our dining room the TV's in the living room. The living room is also often full of things for making stuff. So sometimes it's hard to clear space, but um, I did do that for a little while, and they had some good workouts. And sometimes I had to do the slightly modified one if I wasn't strong enough to do the original. Um, and it was really nice to be able to do that. Let's see here. Marianne says, any workout more than 10 minutes counts as a real workout. And May says, that's what I tell myself. Marianne says, it is true. May said, there was a time when I read articles stating 40-minute workouts give the maximum benefit. Yikes. Marianne says, the advice has changed. That's good. Right? Yeah. That's a good thing. What I have heard most recently, I was listening to the radio, and I like John Tesh. Um, John Tesh has been on the radio for a long time, and it kind of throws me back sometimes, and I like listening to that. It's like listening to Delilah. I don't know if Delilah's still on the radio, but I listened to John Tesh, and the last thing, just the other day, um, they said that to help fight dementia and many things, especially for women, they say that a 30-minute workout 5 times a day is enough to ward off a lot of those things, or at least helps ward off a lot of those things, um, at any age, at any age. So you can start at any time, 30 minutes a day, 5 days a week. And I mean, the advice is recommended for pretty much anyone. And they said what consists of a workout when they were doing that study is um, something that uh, took you to your, like, didn't take you to your complete max, but something that gave you, like, winded you a little bit, or something that was a little bit harder than normal, but it didn't have to be like super maxed out. um it just had to get your heart rate up a little bit, and which was really good. So that's good. May says, I hope so, Marianne. A few years ago, my neighbor said 10,000 steps was her goal daily. Oh my. Yeah, 10,000 was the big number going around for a long time. 10,000 steps a day. I think that has been debunked a little bit. I think that's, if walking is what you do and only what you do, maybe that's still the thing. I don't know. Um, but as long as you get a little bit of extra in there, I don't think they call for that as much. Um, Marion says, for a younger adult, maybe. For me at my age, my goal is 6,000 steps. That's good. That's good. Um, yeah, I've always heard the 10,000 step thing too, but I think recently they've also said that if that's supplemented with other things, you don't need as many steps. But um, that's a lot of steps. Uh, that's like miles and miles of walking, which I don't know. I mean, I know some people who do, but I don't know many people who have the time um, to get that many steps in a day, every day. It's kind of wild to me. I know I certainly do not. I certainly do not. I have gone 2,000 now, 1,900 steps today. 1,900 steps today. And that's close to close to average. I don't think it'll tell me my average here on my watch. No, it doesn't tell me my average. That's in the settings further. Marion says I occasionally get 12,000. That's good. My work does not have me generally walking around very much. I bounce between my desk and my packing table, and that is mostly most of my work for most of my day. Also sitting at my desk and sitting at my packing table. Other than walking from the car to the house and the car to the studio, um, that's why I want to try and get out and do some running so I can get extra steps in and get my heart rate up a little bit and do a little bit of that. Um, Marion says ad campaign. Yeah, of course it's an ad campaign, but um, I don't know what I don't know. They say 10,000 steps. I don't know who that benefits. I guess it benefits all the people who are selling step counters. Sometimes there's those ad campaigns, and you're like, what was the campaign really? Because this is a capitalist society. There's not anything going out there that's not benefiting somebody. Um, so 10,000 steps, where does that come from, and who does it benefit? And I mean, I guess it benefits, people who sell running shoes or walking shoes, people who sell exercise gear, people who sell the watch that counts your steps. Um, so there's all those things you got to think about too when you hear all this stuff. But because a lot of times those are the people paying for the studies, right? You got to see who's paying for that study. and why it's a shame to think like that, but it's often the truth. You got to figure out who's paying for the study, whether you're going to take that study to heart or not. Um, but yeah, I think, 20 to 30 minutes of exercise a day, if you can get that, get your heart rate up a little bit. Um, I don't think that's bad advice, or bad for anyone, as long as your doctor says it's okay for you to be able to do that. For a while, my doctor did not want my heart rate to get up too much because of my AFib. I haven't had an episode in years, so I'm fully cleared to go about my business again. Um, and so I will be trying to do that this summer, this spring, this summer. Hopefully tomorrow. Hopefully tomorrow's the day. I will be getting home from my pottery class. Wednesday's actually my early night, kind of. Um, Wednesdays and Saturdays are like my early nights because I can uh I get home from my pottery class, and usually the lives I'm working on paperwork after the lives until at least 11 or 11:30, sorting packages, working on paperwork. And so tonight, because the live's over, and I usually sneak out the invoices the before I go to my pottery class. Sometimes it makes me a little bit late to pottery, but I'd rather get them done because then when I come home, I know that that's it. And so then we can eat, and which I didn't grab anything to eat today, which is going to be an interesting thing. Um, I have to see what we're going to eat tonight. Maybe running to Walmart after my pottery class, which is going to take some time, but um, at least they'll be open and I can do that. Um, and so kind of forgot about that. Um, but I get home, and I get home usually by 9:30, and then I just have the night, and so we can watch an enameling video early. Hopefully, I can get to bed a little bit earlier, um, and then wake up a little earlier. Tomorrow, I kind of want to start my day early, so I can get up, take the cats out, get up to the cottage, do packing and shipping, get a pretty full day in, hopefully by 4 or 5, and then go for a run before the live tomorrow. So we'll see. That's the plan. That's kind of how I want to pack my days going forward. I'm not a morning person, so I don't think trying to get myself up to go running in the morning is the good idea. It's just good enough to get myself up and moving around earlier, slowly but surely. And then hopefully do some running in the afternoon, be able to like kind of take a shower and then get ready for the live. And if I can get done with most of my day by 4 or 4:30, 5 o'clock, I can go running for an hour, grab a quick shower, and still have time to get ready for the live by 6:30 or so. That's usually when I start getting ready for the live, about an hour in advance. So yeah, that's the goal. That's what I'm trying to do, y'all. Um, let's see here. Oh, Vicky's here. Says my boss is in the basement, so I thought I'd pop on. Well, hello, Vicky. Thanks for joining us. Don't get in trouble. Don't get in trouble, Vicky. But we're glad you're here. Um, May says, I wish I could run, jog more, but the bunions don't. Yeah, I'm thankful. I don't know what that feels like. My mom had bunions early in her life. And because of that, and I don't know if it's necessarily shoes that cause them or if that's part of it. I think it is. But my mom, when we were growing up, we didn't have a ton of money. But the one thing she always emphasized to us was to buy shoes that fit and feel good. Don't cram your feet into shoes that don't feel good. So, all our life growing up, my mom always made sure that we had new shoes and had nice shoes that fit, because she got bunions early and she knew what the pain was like, and she didn't want us to go through that. Um, so, we, I thankfully don't have issues with that. Um, Even though my mom and my aunt both did. And they did go through. So at one point in time, there was a trial for a new medication, and my mom and aunt both got into the trial, and it was dealing with bunions and pain, and they were going to do a surgery, and they were going to give this medication after the surgery. So you got a free bunion surgery, but you had to take this medication to see if it would help. Um, my mom got the actual medication. Unfortunately, my aunt got a sugar pill, um, which was the placebo. It had no medication in it. But they both opted to have their worst bunion operated on, the one that hurt them the most. And so they were able to have that surgery done and at least got one of them each taken away. And I think that helped them a lot. I think that helped them a lot. Um, let's see. Marion says, I expect you to tell us tomorrow that you accomplished that goal. We'll see. Thanks for trying to hold me accountable. We'll see. We'll see how accountable I feel like holding. Um, I'm not too embarrassed when I have to say sorry, yeah, I didn't do that. But um, I appreciate the effort, Marianne. I hope I can do it. Knowing people are going to be waiting for me to say it. It does. There is some pressure to that. Um, there's definitely some pressure to that. Vicky said, I recently had a steroid injection in my knee. I think I could actually run now. Um, my mom had to have some of those in her back, and the amount it seems to help her, and the amount of time she gets out of each one is amazing. Um, and so, at some point, she's gone from having a really hard time even getting around to being fine. And it allows her to also try to get stronger too, which is good. But yeah, it's all those things like we all have things that are happening, and that's why I am trying to do things. I want to start lifting weights a little bit because I do have people in my family who have had osteoporosis or bone loss, and lifting weights, free lifting of weights, actually can reverse that and can help you build bone back. Um, and just strengthening your overall body, and forcing your muscles to grab onto bones, and they need more space to build the muscle, the bones start building back. It's amazing your body can kind of reverse itself like that sometimes. So it's really cool. And knowing that stuff is in my family, knowing there's some heart issues in my family, um, especially with um, AFib and things. I'm trying to take better care to make sure I stay hydrated and make sure I don't take too much salt in, and trying to, do some cardio and things like that. So all these things, I'm trying to use the warning signs as things to motivate me and do better. Um, May says, I got some good running shoes, but I'm only using them for walking. That's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. I don't think so. I don't know, running shoes um, seem like they should be fine for walking, right? I'm sure, I know there's a difference. I know they do sell walking shoes and they sell running shoes. Like the shoes I buy, they're Brooks and they are made more for walking. They're not orthopedic, but they're like on the verge, because sometimes my feet can really hurt. But I found the reason I think my feet hurt is because my shoes aren't wide enough. When my feet get crushed, because I noticed even when I was wearing just compression socks and not wearing any shoes, so I just put compression socks on and I was walking around the house, um, because I was having, I don't know, I was having a leg pain. I don't know why I was wearing them. For a while, they felt good, but I noticed that because they were squeezing on my feet I started getting really bad pains underneath my feet. And so I think like my feet like a wide shoe. And so if I get anything that's not wide enough, I feel like that's more my problem than anything. So I have to watch that. The Brooks are okay for a while, but if I do walk in them for a long time, they can start to hurt my feet. because I think they're a little too narrow yet. So I need to start buying like extra wide shoes or something. I don't know. My feet are spreading out as I get older. May says that's interesting about the free bunion surgery. I would do that. Yeah, they jumped at the chance. They were hoping they got in that trial. Um, so May says my podiatrist pretty much told me that that's what I should buy. Well, no more fancy shoes for me. Well, that's good. Listen to them. Definitely. Um, yeah. Um, what kind do you wear? Because the running shoes I have now, I bought a long time ago. I probably should not even be running in them anymore, but I don't put a lot of miles on them, so I think they're still fine. But I bought them a long time ago, and they're these very thin, almost, for a long time there was that trend to do barefoot shoes. Um, some of them even had toe-like things in them, but they were just they were almost like wearing nothing. These are like a step up from that. They are a shoe, but they had a very thin, kind of bottom, and you can feel the ground more through them. And I like those, but they do not make that shoe anymore because it's been so many years since I bought it. Um, they don't make it anymore, but it's mostly all mesh around the top, and then it has a very thin sole to it. And I like those, and it feels good to run in those. But I have to figure out what I'm going to wear or what I'm going to buy when it comes around to buying a new pair and having to replace those, because it might be this year that I have to do that. Hey, Leslie's here. Says hello and goodbye. Hello and goodbye, Leslie. Thanks for being here with us. Thanks for dropping by. Um, May says they're New Balance. I have heard New Balance are good for that. I wear the Brooks, and they're a very kind of padded, thick, rocky kind of shoe. They do tend to look a little bit like almost like an orthopedic shoe, but they are comfortable. I think mine just might be a little bit too narrow. Mrs. Oops, Asics. Okay, I've heard of those too. I've never had those. I've never had those, but I have to look into those and see because I do need a new running shoe, but I don't know. There was this there's this place in the town. I used to help run a restaurant for my boss, and uh in that town, it's Indiana, Pennsylvania. They have a running group, and there's a store in the town that I don't know if they're still there, but they used to be, where they were a running shoe store. They were specifically mostly for running shoes. But they also did walking as well. But and they had all this machinery um inside that they tracked your gait and your step and how your foot hit. Like, it would track, I guess, how your foot, whether you walked on the outside of your foot more or on the inside, or and how they would take you actually out into the alleyway in the back, and they would calculate your gait. They would have you run, and they would figure out how big your span was as you were running, and they would do all of this stuff to pair you with like what was supposed to be the best running shoe for you. And I never had it done, but my one coworker, he was my supervisor there. He said it was amazing because he goes running, or at least did. I don't know if he's still running or not, since he retired, but he would go running a lot, and he said it was amazing the work they did to find you the right shoe. So I might have to try that. Um, Kimberly says, my son prefers the Brooks and Ons. Not sure if I spelled that right. I don't know Ons, but I do have Brooks, and they are comfortable. Um, like I said, if I wear them too long, if my feet feel like they're getting too smushed in there, I will get shooting pains in the bottom of my feet. Which is why now I mostly wear Crocs. I never thought I was going to be a Crocs person. I used to make so much fun of Crocs, um, until I wore them. And then once I started wearing them, they're nice and wide, they're nice and comfortable, they're foam padded like, they're like this thick, and I wear Crocs now. They're not the best looking thing all the time. I think they're fun, but um they are the most comfortable thing for me, but I can't run in them. And I can't they're not like they're not like if I need to dress up a little bit or have a closed toe shoe, it's definitely not great to have Crocs, but um, that's what I wear most of the time now. I slip those on and they're super comfortable because they're wide enough, super wide, and they've got a lot of padding on them. They feel really good. I have no feet pain in them. Um, but they're not for everywhere, right? Um, luckily I have a job that it doesn't require me to wear any specific dress code, so I get to do that. Um, May says I did try both Brooks and New Balance, but Asics worked for me. That's good. Yeah, I don't think I think I've heard of Asics, but I've definitely never bought Asics. I don't think I've ever worn New Balance either, but I did try the Brooks because they recommended it at the shoe store for me, and for a while they worked really well. I still bought a pair before we went to Italy, and bought those, and they seem to be working okay. Um, but sometimes I feel like they're a little too, but I haven't worn them a lot to break them in. So that's the other thing too. You got to break them in. Anyway, all these things, right? All these things we have to think about as we get older. Like my feet used to fit into anything. I used to wear the most, like, I always still try to take my mom's advice to have shoes that fit well. But there are times when I had dress shoes that did not fit so well, but they look good. Um, but for the most part, I always tried to make sure my feet weren't smashed into shoes. There had to be at least mostly enough room for my feet in there, right? Um, and so I never had any issues like that. It wasn't until a few years ago when that pain in my feet started happening. Anyway, enough about that. Um, let's start the show. We're an hour in. Normally, I try not to talk for this long on Wednesdays because um, I have to keep things progressing here. It is 4 right now. Let's see. I have to leave here by about 5:30, 5:45. So let's try and get this done in the next hour and 15 minutes or so. I'll be going quickly through the lots tonight, I think. Um, Marion says, I wear steel-toed boots for work and rarely wear shoes at all at home. Yeah. Um, I don't, I understand your need for steel-toe shoes. I don't have even a pair of those. Andrew has some for the work he does, I think. I do not. Um, he had some, I think, while he was blacksmithing and all that. But I don't. I don't. When I'm at home in the house, of course, I don't wear shoes. And um, if it's nice enough in the yard, I won't generally wear shoes out into the yard, but I do put on my Crocs pretty much anytime I leave the house for anything. Um, and I think I'm back. Hello, everybody. Back again, maybe. Um, I don't know why it does that. It seems to be doing that quite a bit on the new service. Um, I have to figure out what that is and why that's going on. I don't understand what's happening with that. But and we'll give it a few moments here because I think the picture also clears up a little bit. And I'm on. I don't know if it is a like I said, I know our router here in the office isn't as strong as our router downstairs. And I have to see if I need to move the router to get a better signal up here. Um, or if it's just this service. This service didn't used to do it before though. So I don't know what's happening. I don't like that. It's not a terrible thing, but because it does reconnect, which is a good thing. The other service, whenever it used to cut out that we used, you had to restart the entire thing from scratch, and then hopefully people would find you again for the live. This one does reconnect to itself, so as long as people stay on on the the live, it's okay. But so anyway, we're back. Thank you for hanging out there for a few seconds while I decided to do what it was going to do. Let me flip this camera around here. Oops, that's not what I want. Settings, video, mirror, off, back ultra wide. There we go. Let's get this up here. Let's get our lights on here. We're going to take off the comments on the stream. Okay. Let's see here. Today we're going to call our, let's see, JKL. JKL lots. All right. And we're going to start. I said that I have some hanks of seed beads for y'all. We're going to start with those. I think these are all 10-0. They're vintage check glass. And you're going to get the whole hank of them, which is about 12 strands. I think some have 10, but they're 10 to 12 strands. 2, 3. I think there are 4 of these available. And we're going to do these for $8 a hank. These are a beautiful pink. They are varied a little bit. So some are a little bit lighter, some are a little bit darker. There's a little bit more of variation in this one than the other ones we're going to show you. But they're really cool, beautiful. 10-0. You get all 12 strands, 10 to 12 strands of them for $8. JKL 1. Marianne says you started with pink. Sheesh. I know. Get it out of the way, Marianne. Get it out of the way for you. You know, get the hard part over with, right? JKL 2. And let's see. This is the next one. These are really pretty. I have 1, 2, 4 lots of these. JKL2, vintage check glass. Look at that color. Beautiful 10-0 seed beads, vintage check. Oh, sounds like Andrew's home. Marion says, and such a baby pink. I know, your favorite. Of all the pinks, right? Your favorite. JKL3. I think there's only one strand of this, or one hank of this one. Those of you out there who like the seed beads, these are vintage check glass. There's this one. This is more of a blue. So let me show you these two together here so you can see the difference. They're both multicolored. This one's more of the purple, which is a really pretty purple. It's coming out a little bit dull on my screen. It's a really pretty purple, and then this really pretty blue. So 10 to 12 strands, vintage check glass seed beads, $8 a strand. We've just sold one of each so far, so that means this one is gone. I think we're gonna be really good at $8. Like, you can barely get a tube of seed beads for $8 these days, let alone 12 strands of them. JKL. Oops, I just told myself not to do that. I just did 4. And this one is the last one today. Let me count how many I have. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of these. There are 6 of these ones. This is the brightest blue. It's a blue mix. Is this one. There's some purple in there. I don't know if you can see. It's looking very blue on my screen, but when I pull them away, it seems like you can see the colors better. I don't know. I don't want to make anyone seasick, but for some reason, you can see when it can't focus, the colors show up the most real. We've just sold one of those. Thank you so much. JKL4. Great deal on these. Again, vintage check. Being that the fact that they're vintage often means they are not cut. They're not like Miyukis where they're going to be exactly the same size. There's going to be some variation in them, but they are marked as 10-0, and they're great. Kimberly said these are great. I think so. I think they're really nice. Thank you all for grabbing them, those of you who are. And let's keep moving because I don't have time to dally today. I like to dally, but I don't have the time to dally today. All right, we have these at $15. I'll drop them down to 12. I've got 2 of them available. I think these would go really wonderfully with these seed beads. Kimberly says, I like the organic seeds. I know, right? I do too. Because I only use them mostly for spacers. I don't use them in projects that need that finesse and need that, perfection. I understand if you're doing things that you do, but these are not the best. But if you're like me and you use them for spacers or to fill up space and things, or if you're like Andrew and you're bead weaving with them like Andrew does his fruits and vegetables that he's been doing lately, these are the kind of seed beads that you can use easily. This is a pack of these beautiful golden spacers. I used one of these for many, many, many of my bracelets that I've been making. I opened one of these packs and I still have stuff around after I've made 3 or 4 of these bracelets, and I love them. They're really useful. They have all different kinds. Andrew made luxury bead blends of all these different gold colored spacer beads and just metal beads. You get a whole bag of them for $12. There's only 2 of those left, and they are well worth $12 if you ask me, because I use them in so many of my bracelets and things. I opened one bag and I've been using and using and using it, and I still have stuff left. So, really good deal on those, I think. Some of you all like the bird tongues, the duck tongues, the vintage check. So I found some colors here. Let me see. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of these. Normally we sell them for 7. We'll do these for 6. 5 of these ones available. I also think these ones go really well with these seed beads that we have, because these are blue and purple. Blue and purple. And they're these vintage check bird tongues, duck tongues, in that shape. Really cool JKL6. Danette says, I stepped away for a minute. Is that $8 for a hank? Yes, Danette. The whole hank, $8 for each of those. We still have at least one of each available. We've just sold one of the 5s. Thank you. And look at these, how well these would go with some of these. And this one. Use them as spacers with those beads. They'd be really nice. So that is check glass JKL 6. And I've got another color here. Wait, do I? Yes. Sorry, it's not these. Thought that was the bat. This is the bat. And I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of these ones. We've just sold another one of the ones. Thank you so much. Here's JKL7. These are the duck tongues. I think Andrew may have used these in a kit at one point, if I remember. I can't remember. But these are the kind of green and red, or yellow and red, and it kind of makes a green. I don't know. The yellow? It's a weird yellow. It's a citrus. We'll call it citrus and red. But you get a strand of those, and that's JKL7. I just realized I didn't measure these for you. These are 17.5 by 8.5. Oh, and by the way, today we got someone got us another one of the desk lights for the studio. It showed up on the porch today. I don't want to name anybody because I don't know if people are okay with that, but thank you if you're watching. We appreciate that so much. I didn't make a post about it yet. I grabbed it from the porch when I came home today. So thank you. That's I think we've gotten 3 of those so far, and I think we need a total of 6 or 7 of them. So we're getting there on those. Those are desk lights for our jewelry benches at Star Cottage Studio from our registry for the cottage. So thank you so much. We appreciate that. That was a nice treat today. I'm going to put JKL1 away. And I'm going to put JKL2 away. And I'll leave 4 out for a little bit. I've got 1 of 5 left. No takers on the duck tongues today. Sometimes people are watching love those and sometimes not. JKL. I think they're such a fun shape. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of these. These were expensive back in the day. Let me take these out of here real quick. These I think I need to tie up. Yeah, let me tie these up. Come loose from the strand or the hanks. There we go. These were $12 back in the day. I can't do less than that. Because that would be crazy talk. Do less than what they were being charged for in the 90s or 2000s. These are vintage check glass. They are table cut, which is probably why they are the price they are. 12, but they're also big strands. I think we've had these in an amber brown color before. This is the blue, kind of animal print blue, sideways rectangle, weirdly shaped, and then table cut on each side. They're just a cool shape to play around with, and you get different, you get the different kind of reflections or flashes depending on what side hits. So they're fun to play with, and there's beautiful blue color. They're about 11, let's see here. I'll say 12 millimeters by about 11. 12 by 11 is the way they're cut on the diagonal or drilled on the diagonal. That's JKL 8. I love those a lot, actually. I might keep a strand for myself. A lot of you out there, thank you so much, have been working with Andrew's pendants recently. And so I found these that didn't make it to the online store yet. And these are Andrew's polymer clay pendants that say, "You are beautiful." You are beautiful in this kind of coppery gold color. Oops. Cat hair. Coppery gold. Can I get that? Oh. You are beautiful. Those are from 2025 by Andrew, signed and dated on the back. Polymer clay. These are 34 millimeters approximately, and they're nice and thin, drilled at the top. And there are 3 of them available. Normally we charge $12 each for those. These will be $10 for you all today. See, I said today, not tonight. I almost said tonight. Almost did it. Yeah, you are beautiful. And I think like these colors go really well together, right? I love blue with the gold. Like, look at this. Look at this together. Really pretty colors together. That's really nice. That's the start of something right there. Or this one. Yeah, I like that. These. Ooh, that's really nice. I like that too. So that's JKL 11. Or 9, I'm sorry, JKL 9. What am I doing? JKL 9. It's like, it's one of those days. Read what I write, don't listen to what I say. Because obviously, some days, I don't know what I'm talking about. JKL 10. JKL 10 is this strand of crystal briolettes in black with that silvery metallic finish. Beautiful crystal briolettes. Inexpensive. $8 for the strand on those. That is an 8-inch strand. The briolettes are about 14 by 8. 14 by 8. One strand of those available. They are inexpensive, but they are really nice. They're super light too. Super duper light. So you could easily use those for earrings with no problem. Let's see. Love dark blue and gold and orange and dark blue, says Marianne, right? Yeah. I like the combos we're getting up here. All right, I'm gonna put 4 away. It's time. Nighty night. Nighty night number 4. Still have some of those available. Whole Hanks for $8. Where are you gonna find that? Whole Hanks for $8. Wildly good deal. We still have one of these available. I'm surprised, but if this does not sell today, I am probably keeping it. To be 100% honest with you, because I have gotten so much use out of the one that I have. It's kind of crazy not to keep it if it doesn't sell this time. So there you go. Buy it now or don't buy it at all. JKL 6. Bird tongues. Those away, $6 a strand. 5 strands available. And JKL 7. $6 a strand. Whoa. 8 strands available of those. Okay, let's move these down. That's the blue. That's that. Oh, we've just sold all the 5s. See, I threatened to keep it myself, and somebody grabbed them. Multiple people, in fact, tried to grab it. See, I'm just going to threaten to keep everything. It's all mine. It's all mine, y'all. Cancel the show. No, don't. Humor says my dad came in and interrupted me. See, we had good stuff too. Like you probably missed these beautiful check glass beads. Andrew's pendants. I don't know if you have one of these or not. Andrew's polymer clay pendants. Inexpensive but very nice briolettes. Good stuff. Kimberly says, did I get one of 5? Yes, you did. You did get one of 5. We've just sold another 1. Let me make sure I have. Yep, I still have that. Thank you so much. JKL 11. This is an artisan ceramic pendant, but we don't know who from. We just sold one of Andrew's. Hello back. Thank you so much for joining us. We just sold one of Andrew's pendants there, so we're down to 2 of those. This is, like I said, this is artisan ceramic. We do not know who, but it's made by somebody, and I love it. Marion says, you snuck in before me, Kimberly. Just before. Yep, just before, Marianne. Kimberly says, I don't know if I have one of that particular one, so I will send an email and try to get it. So there's that JKL 11. This might have been done for a kit. I can't remember. At one point, maybe a kit. We've just sold 11. Thank you so much. I'm going to put that away. This is a really cool pendant. I love this pendant. Kimberly says that looks tribal and I love it. I know, it's really cool. Somebody just grabbed it. Thank you. Oh, we did just sell another one of the 9s, so we've only got one of those left. Somebody just tried to grab 11 again. Sorry, it is sold. I do have this one though. It's another artisan ceramic. I think these came from the same group. We did a buyout and got this artisan ceramic, but none of it was marked. So we put good prices on it and we're just trying to sell it because it is beautiful. Like, look at this tube. That's a nice tube bead. It could be used in a necklace. Kimberly says, did I get 11? No, Kimberly, you missed out on 11. But 12 is available. This one is available. This could be made into a pendant as well. Could be used as a bracelet bar, in a necklace in line. Really cool. Let me give you a size on this one. This is about 14.5 by 40.5 millimeters. JKL 12. Every time I say JK, I think JK. Just kidding. JKL. I get caught up on the JKL. This is dang it. Oh well. Can't have them all, right? Maybe. We had these at 435. We went down to 365. I've only got one of these left. JKL 13. We've got these Mayukis. Whoops. These are Delicas, 8Os, light pink lined crystal. Got one of those available. That's the color. And it's now 365 instead of 435. And again, another one of these. This is light cyan transparent AB in 8O in the Delica, the Mayuki. And there is one of those, 365. We've just sold 13. Thank you. So I'm going to put that away. JKL 15. That's a terrible 15. JKL 15. And we've just sold 14. I'm going to put that away. Thank you. Thank you. Let's see if I've got any more seed beans in here. One more here. These were 450. We'll do them for 380. One tube of these available. JKL 15. These are the opaque cobalt AB Delicas. Oh, that's pretty. That's like those other seed beads earlier. But these are the Mayukis, the perfect made, right? 8Os. JKL 15. And oops, I missed a strand earlier. Well, a hank. I missed a hank earlier. Let me get these out. Oh, wait. No, I didn't, because this one broke. That's why it was, so I can't sell that one. I'm not gonna sell it. We'll move on from that a little bit here. Let me see something. Oh, we sold 15. Thank you so much. I'll put that one away. CDF. JKL 16 are these glass eye beads. So these are like a Nazar bead, a protection from the evil eye. JKL 16 was 22 for the strand, now 18. Last one of these left. 9.5 millimeter beads. And this strand is about a 14-inch strand. A 14-inch strand. I have a stink bug friend trying to come up here with me. Let's move you over here. Let's move you over here closer to the window. Okay. So this is JKL 16. Beautiful Nazar beads, evil eye protection. One strand available, 18 bucks. And then JKL 17. Only one of these available. Was 18, now 15. Let me cut this. Oh, these are falling here. I had a feeling that was going to happen. Let me tie this up because these are not tied. All right. These are beautiful microfaceted citrine. Beautiful microfaceted citrine rounds. One strand left. These are usually about 13. Oh, and I tied the whole thing. Let's see here. These are about 13 inches. Yeah, we're going to say about 13 inches on those. And they are 3 millimeters. Beautiful citrine. JKL 15. Look at them. Look at the color. Beautiful color in those. Sometimes citrine doesn't, I feel like the small ones don't have a lot of color. That's a nice yellow color there. JKL 17. JKL 18. This is beautiful glass. I think it's from India. Pink. The silver foil was 18 for the strand, bringing it down to 14 for y'all. And it's that beautiful pink color again. We all loved at the beginning, right, Marianne? But with silver foil. One strand left of these. And this is about 11 millimeters by 14 and a half. 11 by 14 and a half, JKL 18. All right, I'm going to start putting more of these away. I'm going to put the JKL 8s away. No takers on that. I'm really surprised. I love that vintage check glass strand. They're nice long strands. It's a 10-inch strand. $12. That's the same price as they were way back in the day when they weren't vintage. And the You Are Beautiful pendants, we still have one of those available. Just one left. And that's it of those. And I'm going to put the black crystal away. JKL 10. No takers on that. Good thing someone likes Shutter Pink. And then let's go ahead and put 12 away as well. That's the other artisan ceramic. Nobody liked that one. They liked the pendant, not that one. The tube is useful. JKL 12. Tubes are always useful, I think. All right, let's move 16 down, 17 down, and 18. These are really pretty colors here together. You've got the citrine, the pink, and the blue, that bright cobalt. That's for making buttons. Oh, here's some lamp work. Lamp work glass, JKL 19. These were $8.50 a bead originally. You can see that there, $8.50 each per bead. So that was $34, bringing it down to $28 for you all. So bringing it down to $7 a bead. Lampwork glass, artisan. I can't remember who made this one. Andrew probably would know if he were here. Maybe some of you out there know. Really pretty. Kind of, I feel like this is like sea creature like to me. I get sea creature ish out of this. And these beads are generally around 14 and a half millimeters. Kimberly says, I love pink. It's my favorite color. I love pink too. I really do. JKL 20. Here comes the rain again. JKL 20. $4 a strand. This is vintage check. Vintage check leaves in this red and gold finish. These strands are 6-inch strands. They were originally $4. They are still $4 for you. Vintage check glass. red and gold leafy beads, 8 millimeters by 10 millimeters. 8 by 10. JKL 20. Okay. Let's see, there's just one strand of these available, or left, I should say. Let me see, they were, what were you? Where's my tag? Where's my info? They were 10. Let's do this last strand at 8. JKL 21. Are these transparent blue flags in check glass. And this is a 12-inch strand, about 12-inch strand, transparent blue flags. Kimberly says, I struggle with tubes. Oh, yeah. I think people do. I don't know why. You just throw them on the strand. 17 by about 17 and a half. I just throw them on a strand. Put the tubes on the strand, put some big beads around them, done. People struggle, I think, with flags too, like this. So I don't know if we're going to sell those tonight, but or today. See, I said tonight again. Today. But I think these are really cool. And I think they could create a cool look. A little bit of give that the hint of space, right, in your design. It takes up space, but it's also transparent. So you get that little look of space, little airy breeze to it. I like things like that. Let's see. Here we go. Cloud Dancer. Howlite. Undyed howlite. Large rounds. $14 was 16, now 14. Vintage strand. 16-inch strand. 10 millimeter beads. JKL 22. JKL 22. Beautiful howlite, non-dyed. JKL 22. $14. Oh, we just sold 22 right quick. Thank you so much. Somebody's into the Cloud Dancer stuff, I know. This is a cute hand-carved bone bead in a cute animal shape. I don't know what animal that is. You can see its little face. And it's carved into a ball. It's got a tail. It's got feet. But pretty cool. All hand carved, bone bead, drilled through the center. JKL 23, $10, 23 millimeters approximately. One of those available. Last one of that series, I think. I think we had a series of those, and that's the only one that is left. A goat, says Marianne. That's what I was thinking. Some kind of horn creature. It doesn't quite look like horns, but maybe on the side here. I don't know what. But it's got kind of, they flattened out the face to carve it a little bit. So I'm not sure. Armadillo, says Kimberly. Could be an armadillo. Whatever it is, it's now sold. Thank you so much. JKL 23. I'm going to go into bone beads here a little bit. Let's see here. These were 21. These are vintage. That is, I can't do any better because these are nice big strands. So we're going to just pass along that deal to y'all. You can see there's what they were. These are 24-inch strands of the batik dyed bone. There's that word, batik. That's what I was thinking of the other day, and I couldn't think of it. Beautiful bone beads. They're slightly flattened tubes. And they come in at about 12 by 13 millimeters. They do vary some, but you get a whole strand of them for $21. These are really pretty. That's JKL 24. Can you put the tube with 24? The ceramic tube? Let me find it here. What number was that? Look like that. So depend what else you're working with. Pull those colors out. It works really well with kind of the lighter brown beads in there. You pull out the lighter brown ones and work it around that. That could be fun. Add some carnelian to that. That would be nice. Tube was JKL 12. Anybody's interested in that combo. Kimberly says, I am thinking. Think away, think away. Oh, that was okay. I was like, what? I had a bag here. I was like, what am I doing? This was $60, bringing it down to $50. These are some people's favorites. These are the, Marion says add amber colored. Yep, amber. So I was thinking of the carnelian, the orangey ambery. Be really pretty with that. This is 138 carats worth of beautiful apatite, smooth. Well, they're actually more Heishi. Heishi beads. Non-faceted Heishi. Done on sterling silver with sterling silver lobster claw and extender chain. Multicolored amethyst, kind of color blocked. Not amethyst, apatite. Multicolored apatite, color blocked out. We've got one strand of those available. JKL25 was $60. Bringing it down to 50 for you all for the show. Really, that should be a lot more than 60. It's some really nice quality apatite. One strand available. And size on the strand is 16 inches. And they're about 6mm Heishi. Are they? They're graduated, slightly graduated. 4.5 to 6mm Heishi. And there's how they're blocked out. Color. Really pretty. There's lots of green in this one. I love the green apatite. It's one of my favorites. That deep green, so pretty. Marian's is nice. It is a nice strand, right? 26, giving you a nice discount on this, so 20% off. This is an artisan lampwork glass bead. Nice big bead. Was 30, now 24. Really should be more than 30, to be honest, but love, love, love that. That would be really funky with the bone together, I think. That's probably how I'd play it right now, looking at these. That's a really cool look to me. That's my style. JKL 26, $24 now instead of 30. One available. Just the one. All right, I'm gonna put 20. I'm gonna put 16 away. Nobody's grabbed 16. It's $18. I'm gonna put 17 away as soon as I find the bag. Had a bag for that specifically. Can't find you now. Well, just put it in this bag, I guess. I have a bag that said citrine, so I knew to make sure that I remembered what that was, but we'll just fly by the seat of our pants here a little bit. And then we're going to JKL 18. It's the India glass with the silver core. $14 only for that. And then 19, this lampwork glass. I think this and this. Wouldn't that be super pretty? Oh my goodness. Oh my. That is beautiful together. Now my mind's thinking, that's really pretty. Sorry, I'm getting lost in that thought. That's JKL 19, $28, still available. If you've got some nice appetite, that's a great addition. I'll be thinking about that for a little while. Marion says that's a great combo, right? I will be thinking about that for a while, especially if it doesn't sell tonight. If it sells, I don't have to worry about thinking about it. But if it doesn't, I'll have to be thinking, do I pull that from stock for myself? Because that is really, that's an odd combo. It's not like, I feel like that's not a combo that comes around a lot, right? Like that's a very distinct combo. Like you're not going to find those colors together in a bead very often, and they work so well with that. Okay. I gotta think about that. Let me move these up to the blue flags. These are the bone beads. This is the appetite. 25 and 26 is that. And I've got to cut more paper. Sorry, y'all. I messed up a few sheets, so I ran out. I always seem to run out like right at the end. I think I have enough for the show, and then I miswrite something enough times. Or sloppily write it is more like it generally. I'm usually a messy writer. So I'm like, you can't read that. Nobody's going to read that. I have to think if I have any appetite so I don't have to take that one piece apart, because that's hard for me to justify. It's easier to justify me taking that lamp work out of stock because we've had that a little while. Taking that appetite out of stock for me to make something, though, that's harder. So I have to see what appetite we've got around that's that same color. But I really like that combo. Maybe next creative make along, I'll be making something with that. Let's see. This was 10. I'm going to do it for 6. There's only one left. This is less than 50 cents a bead. These are these resin skull beads. Resin skull beads. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Wait. No, it's just 50. It's a little over 50 cents a bead, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, that'd be $5. They were $1 a bead. They were $1 a bead, and they're just a little over 50 cents a bead now. Didn't quite go down to half price. Resin skull beads, and those have just sold. Thank you so much. They're really intricate, actually. JKL 28. Oops. Who knew? Missed these. JKL 28. These are an 8-0 seed bead tube of Delicas, opaque chocolate. Opaque chocolate. Chocolate. Was $4.35, now $3.65. JKL 28. These are for $4 a strand. Bring them down to $3 a strand. These are these little coin, vintage check glass coin beads. Top drilled, or I don't know if you consider them top drilled through the top. Oh, we just sold 28. Thank you so much. These little dangly coin beads. This is a shorty strand. These are about 2.5-inch strands. The coins themselves are about 9 millimeters, and they're $3 a strand. 3 strands available. And the last item tonight, what do I have last in here? Ah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 of these available. They're $8 each. These are beautiful labradorite um, cabochons. Faceted labradorite cabs. Look, they've got like that. They've almost got like a sunstone star power in there, plus their flash. Actually, not. They're not cabs. Ooh, even better. They're top drilled. I didn't realize that. They are. I thought because they're so flat backed. These are actually drops that you could use as cabs as well if you wanted to, because they're super flat backed. It'd be easy to use them as cabs for something. But beautiful labradorite, $8 each. There are 6 of them available. These obviously were from Andrew's collection, I'm sure. I just love how they have almost sunstone stars through them. Like what is that? You don't see that in labradorite very often. And then they've got great flash to those. Marianne says, enjoy your pottery class, William. Thank you so much. That's JKL30. Size on those, they do vary a little bit, but this one is about 10.5 by 19.5 millimeters. And that, my friends, is it for tonight or today and tonight, tonight and today. I will be heading off to my pottery class. I'm going to go tally everything up here. I should be able to get the invoices out before my class. And please share this video with your friends. Since we don't get a lot of people watching in the afternoon, help us share it to get some replays on it. Hopefully I'll have some more claims by tonight. That'll help a lot. And if you have any questions, reach out, info@allegorygallery.com. Don't forget, Andrew's art drop is going to be this Friday at 7 p.m. in the online store, so stay tuned for that. And hopefully I will have pendants to debut also after my pottery class tonight. All right. I won't be debuting them tonight. Maybe tomorrow, maybe Friday. But stay tuned for those too, if you like them. All right. Thanks so much, everybody. Have an amazing afternoon and the rest of your day. And we will see you back here at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time tomorrow. Have a great one, everyone. Bye now.